Welcome, friends. This is A Course in Miracles Palm Beach Study Group. And today we're on Chapter 12, Section 2, The Way to Remember God. In the book, in the text, it's on page 218. Miracles are merely the transition of denial into truth. If to love oneself is to heal oneself, those who are sick do not love themselves. Therefore, they are asking for the love that would heal them, but which they are denying to themselves. If they knew the truth about themselves, they could not be sick. The task of miracle worker, the task of the miracle worker thus becomes to deny the denial of truth. The sick must heal themselves, for the truth is in them. Yet having obscured it, the light in another mind must shine into theirs, because that light is theirs. So denial is the ego, truth is the spirit, love is the healing force. If you're sick, if you're in ego, then you're not loving yourself because you're not loving your spiritual self. And you're denying the truth of your spiritual self, which keeps you in the ego, which keeps you sick. So sick is equivalent to being in ego. And the miracle is realizing that you are in fact spirit. And so you deny the ego and you step into truth. And then the miracle happens. And this all happens in your mind. And everyone has to heal themselves. This is something that each person has to come to their own, using their own free will to come into this understanding. But then it says in sentence 7, yet having obscured it, the light in another mind must shine into theirs, because that light is theirs. See, we all share the same mind. So we can, in our minds, project the truth to others and spark the light in their mind. And this isn't something that needs to be done verbally. This can be done quite silently and mentally by just thinking of others as spiritual beings, just seeing them and acknowledging them silently in your own mind as being your brother and sister in the Christ, as the child of God. And that adds a spark to their mind of light. But ultimately, they have to decide for themselves that is true in order for them to be healed. And the same for us. We have to understand that truth in order to heal ourselves. Any questions, comments?
I'd like to make a comment.
Yes.
The task of the miracle, no. If they knew the truth about themselves, they could not be sick.
Right.
I listened to a doctor, her name, scientist, and she was I guess more physically, but she was talking about so like disease, for example, diseases, physical diseases like, diabetes and whatever have you, that is not the problem that they have been they have been in our society. I'm just using my own words. In our society, been told that it is a problem. Diabetes is real. However, what she was trying to say is what I'm trying to say to you. The best that I heard her say, it's the narrative that we tell ourselves. It's the story that we have inside ourselves. It is the truth inside ourselves that we have to get at, that we have to discover, that we have to believe this, the good in us, the spiritual in us, God in us. And then that takes care of the sickness. There is no sickness. There is no disease. There is no illness. And so in the sentence is what I'm getting the physical component of what this doctor had said in this paragraph. Does that make sense?
Okay, so you're saying that this paragraph we just read is a confirmation of the idea that you got from the doctor.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
all righty. Well, that's very good. So, yes, when we seek truth, we find truth in many different ways. Truth is truth, spirit is spirit, and spirit is unchangeable. So, yes, it can come to us from many different sources. Nobody has the the copyright on truth.
Yes, that's a good one. Good, John.
And the course clearly states that about itself. It's saying, this is if if you can come to truth by studying this course, all fine and great. But if you can come to truth from other sources, well, that's okay too. Spirit has given many different sources of truth to the world so that everybody has an avenue that works for them to bring them to truth.
Excellent, John. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. So on to paragraph 2. The light in them shines as brightly, regardless of the density of the fog that obscures it. If you give no power to the fog to obscure the light, it has none. For it has power only if the Son of God gives power to it. He must himself withdraw that power, remembering that all power is of God. You can remember this for all the sonship. Do not allow your brother not to remember, for his forgetfulness is yours. But your remembering is his, for God cannot be remembered alone. This is what you have forgotten. To perceive the healing of your brother as the healing of yourself is thus the way to remember God. For you forgot your brothers with him, and God's answer to your forgetting is but the way to remember. So the light shines, the Spirit shines brightly, regardless of the density of the fog, the density of the ego that obscures it. And if you give no power to the ego to obscure the Spirit, then it has none. For ego has power only if you, the Son of God, give power to it. You must withdraw that power yourself, remembering that all power is of Spirit. And if you can remember this for everybody else, including yourself, then that's the way you're ultimately going to find God. Because there's only one of us, and we're all in this together. So it's not enough just to think about yourself and say, "Oh, I'm the Son of God. I'm the Son of God. I'm a spiritual being." Now, if you can't think, if you don't think that everybody else in the universe is also a son of God, then you're just missing the point. Any questions, comments? Paragraph 3. Perceive in sickness perceive in sickness but another call for love, and offer your brother what he believes he cannot offer himself. Whatever the sickness, there is but one remedy. You will be made whole as you make whole. For to perceive in sickness the appeal for health is to recognize in hatred the call for love. And to give a brother what he really wants is to offer it unto yourself. For your Father wills you to know your brother as yourself. Answer his call for love, and yours is answered. Healing is the love of Christ for his Father and for himself. So last time, if you remember, it said that everything that is not a call for love is a call for help. And they refer back to that here. Perceive in sickness but another call for love. It's a call for help. And offer that to your brother, what he can't believe in himself. This is really just saying the same thing that the last two paragraphs said, just in a different set of words, and just coming at it from another point of view. But it's really the same thing, just being repeated. Do you have a question, Dave?
I wrote on Facebook yesterday about this subject, and I'm beginning to see the problems that people don't love themselves enough to change, and it makes me feel sad that I see it right in front of my eyes, but they don't see it, and I don't know how to make them see it. I love them and I want them the best for them, but they don't want it for themselves. So I just keep sending love.
Well, that's really all you can do, because you can't make them see it. You can only offer it to them. And again, as I said earlier, you can mentally project the thought to them that of love and that they are the child of God. You can project that thought to them. But everybody has free will, so they have to ultimately come to the point where they heal themselves. You can offer assistance. You can lead the horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Hey,
One of the things that this paragraph did remind me of, though, paragraph sentence 3. You will be made whole as you make whole. For to perceive in sickness the appeal for health is to recognize in hatred the call for love. And to give a brother what he really wants is to offer it unto yourself. For your Father wills you to know your brother as yourself. And I should have started with sentence 2. Whatever the sickness, there is but one remedy. And it made me think of the stories of Jesus healing people of their infirmities. And the way I understand it is that in Jesus's mind, he knew them to be whole, and he projected that wholeness unto them, which if they accepted it, because he said, it is your faith that has healed you. So he projected it, and then if they accepted it, then the miracle happened, and they were made whole. And that's kind of like, that's the same mechanism here that we're being offered by the Course is that same thing. Thinking of your brother as whole is the key to making yourself and them whole. But everyone has free will, so they have to accept that thought. And you can't control that. So paragraph 5. Are we on paragraph 5? Oh, no.
4.
We're on paragraph
Paragraph 4.
Okay. I'm scrolling too fast here. Remember what was said about the frightening perceptions of little children, which terrify them because they do not understand them. If they ask for enlightenment and accept it, their fears vanish. But if they hide their nightmares, they will keep them. It is easy to help an uncertain child, for he recognizes that he does not understand what his perceptions mean. Yet you believe that you do understand yours. Little children, you are hiding your head under the cover of the heavy blankets you have laid upon yourself. You are hiding your nightmares in the darkness of your own false certainty and refusing to open your eyes and look at them. So in this paragraph, the Course is talking to people who are still denying their own spirituality and are still caught up in ego. If you've already gone beyond that place, then this paragraph doesn't really apply to you. But a lot of the people that we know and that we meet, unfortunately, are like little children hiding under the covers and so wrapped up in the ego that they're living in the nightmare. And we have to project the light to them so that to help them wake up from that. Paragraph 5 says, "Let us not save nightmares, for they are not fitting offerings for Christ, and so they are not fit gifts for you."
No, I'm sorry. I was going to say something, but I'll wait. It was the cat meowing. Sorry.
Oh. Helen, if you want to say something, go right ahead.
Well, I was going to wait until you finish this paragraph.
Okay. All right, paragraph 5. "Let us not save nightmares, for they are not fitting offerings for Christ, and so they are not fit gifts for you. Take off the covers and look at what you are afraid of. Only the anticipation will frighten you, for the reality of nothingness cannot be frightening. Let us not deny this, for your dream of hatred will not leave you without help, and help is here. Learn to be quiet in the midst of turmoil, for quietness is the end of strife, and this is the journey to peace. Look straight at every image that rises to delay you, for the goal is inevitable because it is eternal. The goal of love is but your right, and it belongs to you despite your dreams." So
I'm not going to say anything. The cat's meowing, so I don't want to interrupt. So I'll talk when I can.
well, I don't know. Maybe the cat has some insights for us.
Well, I was wondering, going back to what David said, when David said he felt sad when he witnessed people that have not joined the ranks of enlightenment, if you will. And coinciding with what you had said about Jesus, and my suggestion is that if we see and witness something that we know could be different, we have to inside ourselves, instead of feeling the sadness about it, feel something that can bring forth in us to them the enlightenment that we carry.
I see your point, and that's a good one. So, in other words, instead of reacting with sadness, to react with love and take that opportunity to project the truth to those other people.
Yes.
Very good. Thank you, Helen.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, David.
I've noticed myself lately that people are reacting more with friendship and love towards me, and I'm thinking, and I'm feeling joy. I'm wondering, why is it? What's different now than maybe a couple months ago? Why am I feeling loved more?
Because you are loved more.
You never
That's an
explained
easy
it that
one.
way to me before.
That's an easy one.
And perhaps a little more open towards it. I mean, we continually become open all the time, almost like a beacon of light. And we all work on it so hard in this lifetime. Diligent, not hard, but diligent. And I think the more, once we start to open, it just keeps on growing and growing, and it starts showing in your face. It starts showing, around people, and it grows.
Yes, absolutely. So, David, people are loving you more because you're loving them more. You're starting it. You're projecting that love. People,
Started it, have anything to do with it.
what?
You started it.
I started it. I sent it to you. You sent it to them. They're sending it back to us. It's a vicious circle, right? Except it's not vicious. It's a loving circle.
I don't know if I can handle all this love.
You can do it, David. We have trust and faith in you.
Actually, this man that I just love his personality. I went up and talked to him recently at a funeral, and he says, "I love you, David," and I says, "I love you too." There's one time in my life I couldn't do that.
Right.
It was very hard for me to say that. But
Well,
he probably was loved by me.
That's nice, David.
see, that's a sign of growth.
It's not what I was taught.
Oh, I know. None of it, we were taught don't talk to strangers, And that's why I talk to people who I see on the street, because they're not strangers. I don't talk to strangers. Everybody's my brother. They're all my friends. So I can say hello to them even if I've never met them before. I completely gave up the idea that anybody's a stranger.
That's strange.
I'm going to mute you now. All right, there you go. On to paragraph 6. If, oh no, not if, you still want what God wills, and no nightmare can defeat a child of God in his purpose. For your purpose was given you by God, and you must accomplish it because it is his will. Awake and remember your purpose, for it is your will to do so. What has been accomplished for you must be yours. Do not let your hatred stand in the way of love, for nothing can withstand the love of Christ for his Father, or his Father's love for him. Now, at first, that may sound like, that we don't have free will and God's forcing us. But we've been told many times in the past by the Course that our will is the Father's will. The Father's will is our will because we are one with him. There is no separation. So really what they're saying is that your will and the Father's will are the same will. So you need to be open to that to understand your full self as a spiritual being. You have to understand that it is the Father's will for you to awaken, and thus it is your will for you to awaken, because there's really only one will. and that is the will of spirit. Paragraph 7. A little while and you will see me, for I am not hidden because you are hiding. I will awaken you as surely as I awakened myself, for I awoke for you. And my resurrection is your release. Our mission is to escape from crucifixion, not from redemption. Trust in my help, for I did not walk alone, and I will walk with you as our Father walked with me. Do you not know that I walked with him in peace? And does not that mean that peace goes with us on the journey? So there Jesus is talking directly to us about his relationship with us and his relationship with the Father and our relationship with him. And he asks us not to follow him into crucifixion, but to follow him into resurrection. Any questions, comments? Paragraph 8.
John,
Oh, yes, David.
every time I see crucifixion, resurrection, it's not words that I'm familiar with their meaning. I have an idea, but I really don't know.
Are you asking me to define it?
I am.
Well, in Christianity, crucifixion was they put the body of Jesus on the cross, they nailed him to the cross, he died. The resurrection is 3 days later. He was walking around visiting the apostles and saying, hello, I'm back because, there really is no death. And I'm coming here now to prove that to you. You all saw me hanging on the cross and dying and put in the tomb. And yet here I am. Hello. There is no death. We are spiritual beings. You can kill the body, but you can't kill me. So that's from Christianity's point of view. Here, it's much more esoteric. It's, in other words, here the crucifixion is like we're crucifying ourselves by trapping ourselves in ego. And resurrection is coming out of ego and realizing we're spiritual beings and resurrecting to the understanding that we are spiritual beings and that we are eternal, that there is no death, that we don't have to stay up there on the cross in ego. And Jesus is saying, I came to prove that to you, and that was my mission. And so I showed you how it's supposed to work. And now that I've done it, you can do it too. So just follow me and follow me in peace and love, he says. He says, walk with me in peace. And we'll go on the journey together. Did that clarify it for you?
You did a good job.
All righty. Thank you. Helen?
Well, I like the first sentence before I will awaken you as surely as I awakened myself, for I awoke for you. And that's a good description of what a resurrection, that's to me how a resurrection occurs.
The awakening, you mean?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
And it's your release. It's how you can follow your path. You can get to where you want to go within God.
Right. Yes. Thank you. So we're on to paragraph 8. There is no fear in perfect love. We will but be making perfect to you what is already perfect in you. You do not fear the unknown, but the known. You will not fail in your mission, because I did not fail in mine. Give me but a little trust in the name of the complete trust I have in you, and we will easily accomplish the goal of perfection together. For perfection is and cannot be denied. To deny the denial of perfection, I lost my place. To deny the denial of perfection is not so difficult as to deny truth. And what we can accomplish together will be believed when you see it as accomplished. So Jesus is just saying, don't worry about it. Just get on the path, stay on the path, follow me. I'm in the lead. I'm showing you the way. Have a little trust. Just do the best you can in keeping up, and it will be accomplished. Perfection cannot be denied. And of course, spirit is perfection, and spirit cannot be denied. Paragraph 9. You who have tried to banish love have not succeeded. But you who chose to banish fear must succeed. The Lord is with you, but you know it not. Let your Redeemer liveth, and abide in you in the peace out of which he was created. Would you not exchange this awareness for the awareness of fear? When we have overcome fear by not hiding it, when we have overcome fear, not by hiding it, not by minimalizing it, and not by denying its full import in any way, this is what you will really see. You cannot lay aside the obstacles to real vision without looking upon them. For you lay aside means to judge against. If you will look, the Holy Spirit will judge, and he will judge truly. Yet he cannot shine away what you keep hidden. For if you have not offered it to him, and he cannot take it from you. Well, that paragraph was a little tongue twisty, but basically it's saying, again, the same thing over again. Don't get tied up in the fear of ego. The Lord is with us. Trust in the Lord, the Spirit, God, Christ. There's many different names, the light, but don't let the fear envelop you. It's a lot easier to deny the fear of ego and to accept the peace of spirit than it is to stay entrapped in the ego. And once we, start on that journey, it becomes easier and easier the more and more that we go along the way. And our last paragraph 10. We are therefore embarking on an organized, well-structured, and carefully planned program at learning how to offer to the Holy Spirit everything you do not want. He knows what to do with it. You do not understand how to use what he knows. Whatever is given him that is not of God is gone. Yet you must look at it yourself in perfect willingness, or otherwise his knowledge remains useless to you. Surely he will not fail to help you, since help is his only purpose. Do you not have greater reason for fearing the world as you perceive it than for looking at the cause of fear and letting it go forever? So basically, what that's saying is that just give the ego to Holy Spirit. If you're angry, offer that anger up to Holy Spirit. If you're fearful, offer that fear up to Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit will take it and dissolve it. He knows what to do with it, sentence 2 says. And whatever is given to him that is not of God is gone. Everything of the ego world that you turn over to Holy Spirit within yourself is gone. It dissipates. It disappears. Because that's what Holy Spirit does. It'll only save what you give in love. Everything that you give in love, Holy Spirit will save for you. Everything that you give him of the ego, the fear, the anger, the jealousy, the whatever ego thing it is, he'll dissipate that. It'll poof, it'll be gone. He'll take it away. So that's the way it works.
John, the sentence that says, yet you must look at it yourself in perfect willingness. You must be able to see what you're giving up. Say it's jealousy. You must be able to feel that and know it and willingly give it up. Not say, well, today I think I'll give it up, but maybe I'm not gonna. If I get jealous tomorrow, that's a different story. So the willingness to give it up, I think, is very important here.
Oh, yes. Yes, when it says you must look at it, is the same as saying you must look at ego.
Yes.
You must look at ego and be perfectly willing to give it up. See, some people want to.
So it's so perfect because then it says, for otherwise his knowledge remains useless to you.
Right. Holy
because
Spirit.
In the first part of the paragraph, it says, you do not understand how he uses what he knows.
Yes. And that's a capital H. So that indicates spirit.
Yes. That's perfect.
Thank you for helping us to clarify that.
You're welcome.
We've reached the end of our section for today. So, David, do you have any other thoughts you'd care to share? Are you muted? You're muted, David. If you're speaking, I can't tell.
Yeah, I feel that I struggled for a long while with joy, and that I found it by finding my purpose again, a different purpose. I was surprised that I had one more than one purpose, and I feel happier. Maybe that's what people are seeing.
Okay, thank you. Helen, any last thoughts?
I'm good.
Oh, good.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. So thank you for your contributions this evening. Let's have a moment of silence and then we'll stop our recording.